Hello, friends. This is Becky with Becky Budgets, just coming on here to do our first week of July budget, which is, I can't believe that we're already going into quarter three of the year. The time is going really quickly. So, as always, I just wanted to say thank you so very much to each and every one of you who takes the time to watch my content. If you are new to this channel, please consider joining the team. If you hit that subscribe button and that bell, you'll be notified of any content that I post within the next couple of weeks. And for those of you who are so inclined, maybe you can hold off until the end because I do have a question for you all. So I wanted to go ahead and get started with our monthly spread. On this spread in the Budget Mom Budget by Paycheck workbook, I write down all of our bills for the month, and using highlighters for each paycheck, I break down what we're going to be paying for each paycheck. I had shown a glimpse of this last month when I thought that our Advantage bill was going to be higher than it ended up being. So I did make a little bit of a change. Everything is kind of going to go in order. Everything for the week is going to be paid for the paycheck. Now, because both me and my husband get paid at the beginning of the month, I'm going to go ahead and pull our Excel bill up to week 1. Because now that we're running our air conditioning, it's a little higher than it has been. So I just wanted to kind of relieve the second paycheck of the month from having to take that big bill. So let's go ahead and get started with week 1. And I'll go ahead and flip this way. Looks like all of it is in frame. And let me pull I'm going to have to move that over a little bit. Let's see. Here we go. And there's my calculator. Perfect. So this week, I'm going to go ahead and budget for our June 30th paycheck. Now, on June 30th, my husband gets his weekly paycheck. And then on the 1st of July, I get my paycheck. And I always put a little spot for rollover and for savings. But we don't budget for those. Now, my husband hasn't missed any work this week, hasn't used any of his vacation time. So I'm going to use the value that I have as a standard for when he does regular work weeks. So I'm going to go ahead and budget that he's going to get paid $707. I am kind of keeping in mind in the back of my head that he didn't get paid for 2.5 days wages. So hopefully they'll be added onto this budget, but I'm not putting all my trust in that. So we shall see. And then my average per month is $3,990. Now, I am getting a 3% cost of living raise here in Colorado since I do work for the state. And this will be changing once I know what my paycheck looks like afterwards. So let's go ahead and add those two values together. So it's 707 plus 3990. That gives us a total of $4,697. Now, the bills that are going to be due this week are rent, which is due on the 1st. We've got our Upstart loans, which are our personal loans, and I lump them together because they come out in one payment. Then we've got Allstate, which is our car insurance. That's also due on the 2nd. Dell, its monthly payment is due on the 3rd. Then we've got the Capital One. It currently has a minimum of $30, but I'm paying the previous minimum to try to get that paid off, or a big bulk of that paid off by the time we go ahead and finish paying the Dell. So then we've got Audible. Hold on, I missed something. The Capital One is due on the 5th, and so is Audible. And then we've got the Xcel, which I showed you previously. We're pulling up to this check. Xcel is our natural gas and electric. That is due on the 8th, but we'll go ahead and pay that early. And then, as I had mentioned before, our renter's insurance envelope isn't up to date, or hasn't gotten enough money to go ahead and pay for this year's premium. And so I'm going to continue putting the $3 a week in here so that we've got the money for next year. But this year, we're going to have to cash flow that premium. So I'm going to go ahead and cash flow it in this check, just because we do have a little more money. And our renter's insurance is actually also through Allstate, but since I pay this in full, I keep it as a second category in there. So that really doesn't have a due date. It goes into effect in August, so we're just going to pay it in July so that we're done for the year. Now, rent, we usually budget $2,000 for. Upstart is $1,652. Allstate is $143. The minimum for Dell has gone down to $83. Now, the only reason I'm bringing it down to $83 is because it's our current snowball debt. So any overage that we get in the month, we're pushing towards that Dell. So I'm okay with making that minimum payment, which covers the interest for the month and then 1% of the debt. Capital One, I'm still paying $80 on. Audible is on its 3-month break, so that's $0. That should actually go back into effect next month in August. And I have actually fallen in love with it. So I'm going to try to keep it in our budget as long as I can, because I enjoy it and I don't want to give it up. So we'll see. I may have to start taking that out of my personal in order to take care of it. But we'll see how it works into the budget. Now, Xcel did already post. So I'm going to budget to pay $208 into the Xcel. We usually budget $250, but this month's bill came in for like $207 something. The renter's insurance posted for $105 for the year. So I'm pretty happy with that. And we'll go ahead and just take care of it. So when we go ahead and add our bills, we end up with a total of $4,271. When we take that away from our income, we are left with $426. And let me go ahead and pull that down. So we're going to go ahead and reset for the month of July all of our variable envelopes. As I had mentioned before, our variable envelopes usually take up the majority of our first 3 checks. And then our last check if we've already met our variable envelopes, all of the overage from those months for that last check goes into our snowball debt. So hopefully it all works out this month. This first week, I'm going to go ahead and put $100 into groceries because we're not going to have that overage. Gas is going to be okay. Pets is okay right now. We are going to need to refill that this month. We took a break in June, but in July, we are going to need to replenish that because they are getting groomed. My hubby will hold off on. I'm going to hold off for me. And then let's just put $50 into our miscellaneous. So we're going to go ahead and put $150 into our variable envelopes. When I take $150 away from our leftover, that leaves us with $276. And I'll go ahead and pull that over. Now, I'm going to go ahead and fill our sinking funds. So medical gets $25, vet, household, car maintenance, and gifts get $15 a week. Vacation gets its $5. Renter's insurance and car registration get $3 apiece. And then we put the last $4 into emergency in order to make that an even 100. So when we take 100 away from our leftover, we're left with $176. Now, I do these sections out of order. Because it is the beginning of the month, I'm going to need to go ahead and put my monthly amount into my 52-week challenge. So I'm going to go ahead and put 52-week number 1. My husband is going to put his weekly contribution into the weekly challenge, which we're using towards our moving fees. I'll go ahead and put a spot for the 20-pound challenge. And then lastly, a spot for the buffer. As you know, I am on a mini goal to get our buffer set to $100 per account. And we are kind of inching towards that. We didn't make as much progress as I wanted last month, but hopefully we'll have a better month this month. So, for my weekly 52-week challenge, I'm going to need to put $114 into my savings account. My husband is on week 26. And then I don't budget anything for the 20-pound challenge, and I don't budget anything for the buffer. So 114 plus the 26 is going to be a total of 140 that we need for our savings. Now, in order to break down how much we're going to put into our snowball envelope, I'm going to take that leftover of 176 and take away our savings total, which is 140, and that's going to leave us $36. So we'll put those $36 towards the Dell, and then that'll leave us the 140 that we need in order to fill our savings challenges. And that's going to 140 minus the 140 equals 0, so we hit that zero base budget. As always, let's go ahead and check my math. So we've got our income minus our bill total minus our weekly envelope contribution minus our sinking funds minus the $36 going towards our snowball, and then minus the 140 going into savings, and that gives us that zero base budget. Now, I'm hoping that because of the discrepancies in pay, and also that June was a longer month than May, work-wise, that we will be bringing in a little more money so that we can put more money towards our variable envelopes. But we'll see. I never put all my trust in that, so we'll just have to take a look. I'll be back on Wednesday with our update and Thursday with our actual numbers, because that'll be the 1st of July. Or it won't. It'll be the 30th of June, and hopefully we'll have the amounts for my paycheck on that day. For those of you who have stayed till this point, here's the question I have for you all. So currently, our snowball debt is at, and I'm going to take a little sneak peek at my closeout for last month. So currently our Dell is sitting at $2,555. And we're currently still paying the interest that is on that account, which is an interest of 23.5. Now, I have had 2 credit cards that we already paid off and that we have put on pause, and we have in our safe so that we do not use them. I've had 2 of those credit cards that we've paid off reach out, letting me know that they are willing to transfer balances before August, I think it's like August 3rd. And all they would do is take a 4% a transfer fee. And the only stipulation is that I would have to pay it before March. Now, my goal is to have the Dell paid prior to, I think on my calculations, we're trying to get that paid prior to the end of the year. So, what would you all do? Please go ahead and comment in the section in the bottom. Would you transfer the balance so that that 20+% interest doesn't hit the account, and then just close out this Dell and just pay off the remainder on the other credit card? Or would you stay away from the balance transfer? I'm curious to know, because I've never done it before. So I just wanted to see what you all thought. I am very confident that we will be able to pay this Dell before interest does set in, which would be on March 23rd of 2023. So I'm almost tempted to move the Dell into there and then also move the Capital One into there, because we've got about $1,100 left in that Capital One account. Yeah, just let me know what you all think. I treasure all the advice that you have for me. Some of you have been doing this longer than I have, and for those of you who are in the same position as me, read my comment section, because sometimes there's a lot to learn from people that have been doing this a while. That being said, I hope that each and every one of you has had an amazing weekend and that you have an amazing week ahead. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye.